tubelenga abanyuganda batuufu. Let's stand and exercise our rights. Bwe bunatawo ne mwetulako ekibuji muzadde nange ezadde tugenda kuzala abaana babonebone ate tufiirwe batuddire kati obwe tuzalidde ki adresa asinga. So before
simula
omuwulira tumukunde msajja oyo mwaga
adresa asinga tekatu wale kile kintu. Let's first fix this then tuzalire twagadde kubanga awa Uganda yafe nungi nnyo ate ngazi nnyo naye onozala nga bilesera bibbi bijja mujja kwetaka then bitugobe then bitekawo abaana baabwe ate tebisana kuzala mwana wattu bizale kamu lekasoka kabonyabonye ensi.
Njagala kumba abaana baffe lwaki bizala kaana kamu njagala kumba n'abaana baffe
waliwo bagambye yabba abalongo naye bannaayo
don't cut him muleke
era kati gwamulako ng'ali lubuto lwaki alina abalongo bippa n'abaana ze wabubbi bwaseka bippa buli kyekusanze byakukasomba byuma
oyo madamu wemamuyingiridde ajja kwanyingira abazadde bonna ajagamba on behalf of all parents ono yanyigiridde antwale mu kooti gunsinge sijja kumwogeko nti ondowaye mama Sorgeti nti bamuzaalira nti nayosa buyonsa sijja kyogerako nze nja ndikunguzi gyalina ali mu kuzala bulongo bubiri buli buti ali mu kuba sente singa balongo bebazadde nze ngenda kulaga wa with my family ngenda kulaga wa with my fellow Ugandans ngenda kulaga wa bana tukirowoozeeko tukirwane nga bukyali ekyokubiri mumpulirize bulungi tugenda ku parliament naye omuntu yenna anageza okutataganya oyo yennyina mabega omuli w'enguzi not even the president not even the Uganda police mumpulirize bulungi anageza okutataganya kitegeeza awagira enguzi eyatadamutena kyatugamba Museveni yennyini bwabanga awuliriza bw'obanga okyaga kusikanga okyali mulamu tuleke tukola emirimu gyaffe mu mirembe teri tugenda kukola mafumu na majambiya we are organized in any way tutatagana tuteka police na kibyo byonna ffe tuli organized police etukuume nawe Museveni bw'olaba ng'enguzi come and join us. Now can you understand what
in fact someone was sorry to cut you short someone was saying to itene emuke kubanga siba yayogeza musayagala nguzi kati yabajja soke mu front line tumanye sayagala nguzi ntagenda kola different from his father and he wants to rectify his father's mistake ajje tukumbe tugende parliament.
Museveni himself can come and erase all the allegations about him that is corrupt. Don't so yenga ye alina kujanga yeke nyini ajawo kiriki babagamba nti all thieves are behind him ndababi banabe kweka mugongo gwe naye babamanya nti naye ajja tweyungeko so kama kizibu kino nawe anda mongo baba manti nawe toli muri wanguzi nawe twegeteko naye saga muntu kutataganya bono tataganya then that means now obo wagira achi enguzi kati kusikunako olwa nyini kandabe omuntu atusumbuwa all eyes on somebody or someone who are going to disturb our campaign tujja ku parliament ku kizibu kyanguzi tewali kiracho nacho namwe kanyogere abaga kwesimbawo
saba tumukunde Anita bwatwegattako kinaba kityaza oze nga sikutegedde
kankudemu bwatwegattako yeke nyinyi akiza industa tajiwagala abaina kulekulira oshegedde kubanga batulumba abaina kulekulira oshegera ata taja kufuna buzibu bw'amaanyi kubanga batwegatteko na yeke nyinyi oshegera kintu ekyo mu bazungu ngera kwa example bano prime minister wa Uingereza yali ani mu biseera bya covid munanzijukizamu yavayo n'agamba nange ndekulidde nange nkiwagira kino kwa kikyamu bamukola ki tekyaliwo nawe ate mongo baba gatifundire nawe gateko waliwo mubbi omu erabba omuntu kukubo omubbi bwe yakwenda nakubera nange bankubye tebamukuba bamuleka bagamba nawe bakubye bambi sorry naye nja kumugamba nti sorry naye ng'olekulidde because kino ekisanja kyabadde mu tatuyambe wale n'akamu abadde mu kutula diiru zokka so tatuyambe kati nga nfundikira wakati fala mundu tatuli byabufuzi nyonyo ko simba mu parliament nenga za mundu byabufuzi sita kugamba nti simanyi mbuza simu na byabufuzi ndi politician nesa wazino sina kutuka nchali na novice nchali green nyo nemwe abatuse ndega bategeza nti nebo no genda mu parliament sawazino no kola bitufu bijja kwa bichamu kubanga cyo yingide that house is a house of crooks abapi oshegere kintu ekyo kati ngambale bagamba abatuso kwesimbawo mujja mutwegateko tuteleza amakuba ago agali mwenguzi no bulyake then mwesimbewo nebo otwa no sirika bwoti nbakuweta mutwe ngono jiriyete wene we Masaka district teraja kugamba ko kubanga enguro zisi babulungi zitezononese mu malwali muri mwedagala ya mwegali mu masomero abana basoma bayita bafune emirimu nti ye wewe watamukazi wo wewe tasajja mu mugundi mu mugongo teraja kugamba ko nebo video tubya butambuza ne wano nebo no yambala kakondo tujja katambuza ate fe tuli babinyo tutambuza ekintu nebitagasa tubitambuza kakati bw'obanga yakwesimbawo mbadde nkusaba nti jangu twegatte ko tereze kubo kushegera kintu ekyo awugera kuta mu parliament kati kugondera mukibaye mukire kisanja kibale kikambo nyo MPs abasinga bona bakabya amaziga olwensonga luli bali batwekwekamu neka tutuze tubalabisa tebangule no munogumu nina MP omu wamwe mu Kampala district tagenda kudo olwensonga twamulabisiza nnyo abatavuma abantu tayogera tatesa mu parliament naye nga kiri nti ensonga ey'obulyake yeye nyini ye mutisa mu parliament okudda mu parliament so male bategeeza nti abaga okwesimbawo ku MPs ne bakansalazi muje tuwanyise enguzi tusobole okutereza eggwanga ne parliament tutereze bakuteza kakiiko oba kosasa ngeyo obanga gwa leader of opposition ngagwe nabi kugondera kera kuma cyano kisingo mugazo no parliament neziyingira teragera kurondora
banaye
niko nawo njogere don't kale ngo byawo batikane March2Parliament come
James okozo oti amusajja badata akyatubuulira njiri
adango musajja wange
nengo musajja oyo waddala banaye mugoberera omusajja oyo waddala abeera ku mulamu abeera ku muzuri sawa bina
tumukunde simanyo maze
please follow that guy
tumukunde ogambye otya
what are you saying mbarengenze kati ngomyewo
awo mbade kyengambo kyogambo summarize nzo maze
kyogamba gobo izabona bwe mara kacho chwa ibolo
sebo genda
naye ngomala kubi emala si nunja inoko tumukunde mala si nunja inoko kujja kunyi no mala
gamba goto wade mukulu sebo tukusaba omuntu ngamba
Muganda but what I'm saying is on 23rd let's focus
wama tumukunde masaka toina nso video koze banabuddu we batwebogera po toina nso video koze
mbwe batyo bamala
tulije you have the mic tulije
no wait before to read sorry before you please it was AJ sorry tumukunde yatu tutegweka one way muganda wange tumukunde kwagala nnyo ebigambo byo binziza mu nnyo amaanyi and I know every Ugandan on this space resonates with you so thank you very much for those words and we shall do exactly as expected. AJ, the mic is yours please. AJ, unmute and speak to us.
Greetings, everyone. Hope I'm loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Well, Tumukunde has very, very good words. But Zenja ndabagundi murare gende kendera. Nenda kwebaza Precious, Suna, Victor, Madam Stella, Dr. Stella Nyanzi rather. Brayo, you guys have been consistent. Sometimes tuve kuna kutoka nenga tuuliriza nenga tusima bambi. And we are following the news. Nena chimanyi mulimu ababin those have been approached, intimidated, those who have been tempted to eat. Yeah, we are living in a poor country and we are looking for money. Temptations are going to be there, but if you decide to take a step to defend the future, it's going to be bloody for you, I'm telling you. You're going to lose friends, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose you. Especially if you're in the country. Those are maybe in the diaspora. You can survive, you can cause you're in a different environment compared to what is here. People are poor. That's why you say you're like begging some churches to come on board. You're begging institutions like the lawyers, the what, there are people who come and join you. And be cautious. Those are joining you. To some is an opportunity to either earn bread and water for their family, and I don't blame them, because people are poor, people are broke, when people are poor, getting them from that state of like getting freedom, it's a very hard road to take on. For instance, when you're hungry, you cannot think right. So omuntu kujo kwekalakasa bakola to protest nenga amanyi the state of mind is clear because talina kyakulya. Nze ngenda bagamba ensonga eno wamanga mbaja gamba mpaga tsiyagano. I'm a straight person, but I've been observant for quite a long time. And that's why people are saying people are here because they are funded by gay people, whatsoever. But Kampala has changed since that law came out. Kampala Chusebanange. I have colleagues who had bad businesses, they are closing them up. I have colleagues who used to work for NGOs, and some of them are here, by the way, those work for NGOs that left this country. You know, quite a number of them. Even those who affiliated some companies that had maybe support from missions and what from those organizations, some were laid off, they are broke. And you're seeing these intellectual kids who used to work for this organization, they are coming up to disturb the government. And why this happens, even the government lost money in AGOA deal and others, which are World Bank, etc. So when all this thing happened, the government had looked for other alternatives to get money. You saw the border increase, and people are not ready for it because they're not educated about it. Even if it is good or bad, they think it's a tax. And that became a problem as well. Then you have to increase on the other things, like even you have to see that small money that was being taken, like the 500 million, then they were saying billions. You know, like they are creating now even URA itself. They're not trusting it anymore. They are creating a unit to observe URA because of what that particular law that was brought. I give someone a scenario like recently when you have a parent and he loses a job and he comes home. You know, he becomes inquisitive over things. All of a sudden, then he will become put anger on the kids. What? That's what is happening in Uganda right now. And we could have educated ourselves better about one, what are the effects of this? We are a dependent country. We depend on a lot of things. Look at the deal we tried to do with Kenya over the fuel, and now it's going to cost us more. We have a young population which is unemployed, and we have taken away potential employers for some of them. And then what are we going to do for them? They are going to become a jigger in a shoe in your foot for you. The government won't settle, even if don't take me that I'm speaking negatively. Even if Tuesday doesn't work on, but it will be a beginning, and it won't stop, by the way, because people, is it going to be like a business as usual for some people? We come here and talk, we can protest again and again and again. Then eventually, as like I told someone said, when you hang out the barber shop, you eventually get a haircut. When you do something continuously, you definitely you get results, and it will keep on going and going and going. Remember the Kenyans, what they told you, that for them they didn't start that. It will start like, is it last year? The people who are behind this, they started 2022, 2023, then they got some results 2024. So don't expect a lot on Tuesday. And remember, for us, we're in a very, 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 very iron environment, like strong environment. The people we are against, they are very strong. They have money, and we are poor. So don't expect that on Tuesday. But the more you keep demanding, eventually the wall will fall down.
Bro, so don't generalize, please. If you are poor alone.
By the way, poor is not about in terms of money or what. No one is so rich.
So you mean those you're talking about, they have double lives or two legs or two arms or two hearts than us?
I'm not yet arguing, my brother, but if not argue, you can have the microphone. Okay?
Guys, Kamoga, thank you. AJ, as you conclude, please. Thank you.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that we have dependence of things to do, and the people will try to bribe us to stop this. But don't give up. Keep the battle on. I'm not here to argue with anyone but me. I live in Kampala. I work in Kampala. Anyone with them on Tuesday, I'm here already, actually, because I'm in Kampala already. Good night.
Good night. Thank you for your time. And yeah, Ugandans are listening. Now, let's go to Turije Pius, and then we shall have trouble after Turije.
Okay. Am I clear there?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, you're clear. Go on, please.
Okay. Nsanyuse nnyo okubeera wano. Guno omulamwa nno siggwa ffe abantu abali wano ffekka. Naye n'abo abantu abali ebweru, kuba nze eno gye mpangaalira. Oli oba nti fali wano okuyimira olwaffe nga ffe, kuba ffe tetulina, nze sirina muntu gwe ngamba nti ngenda lwanirira. Nze nwana nze nga nze neerwanirira. Kuba binyigiriza nze nga tebinaba kunyigiriza muntu mulala. Kuba ababbi katola ababbi abali kasaawo abali mu gavumenti abalimu babagula buguzi. Katola ngo yanitamu yali mu FDC nga yakona. Kitegeera. Naye bwe bamuleeta that means yajja kutusaavinga. Kyataafu neri mu FDC yasalamu ajja kino ne muffe. Kwe kukyuka nadda mu NRM. Kati nze wempanga yali omusajja bamuyita Jackson Kafuzi. Southern Deputy Attorney General. Omusajja yali mu FDC. Two terms inaagwa. Okitegeera. Kati bwe yagwa omusajja n'akyuka n'asala eddiiru era n'okusala eddiiru bamuwa bwisente ne bamusuubiza n'ogwo omulimu gwa Deputy Attorney General ne bagumuwa successful, which was a success to him. Naye ffe abantu b'ekyaka atukoledde ki? Baba abantu bagenda bagwa mu ttaka ekazinga. Naye yagenze n'alimbalimba abantu mu bikimbo abantu babasonyiye biki Museveni agenda kujja. N'akwata n'ebipapula n'abiteekayo nze nengera ne highlightinga court ezimu ze na courtings nga Museveni akoma okukonfaminga indeed ettaka eryo lyawe abantu abatasoma abantu abagirizibwa abantu abayala abagamba kimu kwata 15,000 ebirala Museveni agenda bimaliza naye nga Museveni yeye kamala byonna kitegeera ate nga ne Museveni agenda kujja agenda bagamba bugambi ettaka naliwayo kuba epapula byonna bina mu WhatsApp wenagenze omugamba ko WhatsApp natandika ku intimidate nga biki bagenda kusiba biki kitegeera inze mbadde nsomedde masoro gefine waffe gakola bubi nenzira ku campus era maxinga za kuyiya ne mala campus yange nenzira mu wino nenjiri bembeera Embeera tebadde nnyangu. Fifa abantu bosanga nti tusobola okubaawo nga munsawo inamu nkomitano naye ng'olina famire. Kitegeera. Naye kati nze bwe nvaayo okubyogerako kati ng'abantu abeena ekyaka bajja gamba oyo omulaba Bobi Wine yamutwala. Naye ng'ovye ti nze sirina muntu gw'empaga nzi kati kuwola olunaku olwokubiri kuba kati n'omuntu adaba ku sita zange za WhatsApp byenteekayo kuba nze bamanyira kati bagamba oyo yatulema. Nze nja keera nfune taxi yange nkeere e Kampala oba nsula kati njisula nga ndi waka ate okugisula nga ndi ku struggle. Nja keera ku lwokubiri nsiibe e Kampala tugende ku Parliament oba tumala myezi ena nga tetulya nze sifuddeeyo naye njagala ensi eyamba buli omu. Kwa kati saawa zino osanga kasooli wa nusu lukaaga omwana muzeyi gw'asasulira amusasulira mitwalo 9 Lugoba High sina somero nga liryawo ly'amaanyi naye olyavaayo
Lugoba High waneka wempe yiwaga
mitwalo 9 naye muzeyi wange kasooli gwatunda wa nusu lukaaga. Nze nasoma nensomako kyensomyeko sirina mulimu ngenze just kukola interview za ubosi nga njagala bwa gundi supervisor ku district ne babunyima ngo bali batadde mu kasete nebuuza omulimu gw'emitwalo nkaaga ntekemu ekituga kya sente mmeka mwezi gumu. Kati bo baagala tukole ki naaka akatono kennyini tebaagala tukafune. Ogenda ku district y'Ekyegegwa nga abantu abaliko bonna baawo LC5 simanyi waliwo yakulira education bonna abali awo obuli mu babweddiza abaana baabwe bamaze senior 6 senior 4 babateekayo mu office ne babakukusa fe abasomye nga tulina qualification za no down oli enfuufu ate politics bwezitandika ne batandika okuwasamira ne bakuwa 5,000 mitwalo ebiri wakuba bakimanyi nti abantu bayala era nga Kampala omuntu ate
tulije Terera muganda twagala ulire mboze Terera tetukulira bulungi Terera
e Kampala nga ali ku street nze ndaba alina bulungi okusinga abali mutawa
tulije sebo
awunfuna bulungi
da hayogera awutulire
wangi
simbula tulire
awunfuna
okay
Tulije network emusazeeko ndaba disconnecting so wagomana wotya alabika disconnecting. Maybe he will just come back later.
Take over. Guys, share the space. And remember, we are moving those 2 hashtags. March to Parliament, stop corruption. Let's do this. Share the space. Trouble, take over. Let's bring back to Rije.
Yeah, okay bro. Musibye mutiye banaye.
Clear bro.
Night shift muliro njagadde nnyo.
Fire.
Oluzungu sulungi nnyo omanya wa muntu oluzungu. Sigande tulumanyi naye obusungu bate buvaayo bulungi. Omuganda agamba bw'olaba emmese edduka ng'eyingira ekisaka ekirimu omuliro omanya ekijigoba kisinga omuliro okwokya. Mbaddeko kuno nga mpuliriza abantu abasinga obuzibu bw'embalabyemu oba katengo ke kanji bali awo beewozaako bannaye tugenda beera peaceful. Ebyo ebibuuzo twabyogera luli eri nga twagala poliisi etukkirize naye ne mugikonvinsinga mutya poliisi tugenda beera peaceful era yabiganye. Kati abantu mubaleke be-expressinga obusungu bwabwe kyenjagala okubagamba kubanga omanyi obusungu buli omu abwe-expressinga mu ngeri ye. Banalongo akyaliko kuno waliwo
kwali nalongo kasota wemula ebintu bya nalongo yekka
bana mbadde basaba kubasalako kirimi dakiika emu. Omanyi leero obaddeyo national address okumanya abana abantu mubakutte mpozi mugate togera Luzungu. I think you have them by the balls. Omanyi Museveni ku national address. I'm going to read for you a quote from NBS television. President Museveni agambye, when you demonstrate in places like Kampala, people are selling their products in the roadside. You're going to save on people's products. You are playing. Don't have such ideas in your heads. You're mukulembeze kwa gabuloza ta planning the future. Again, yeah, I thought I would read for you guys this. And the message eduke kamusaka yeso gamulio. Continue please. Sorry for interruption. Chitokota.
Muzeya akaddiye manyi bagambo lwe lukadde lumanyi ensonda naye luddugaza kati buli nsonda gye lugenda mu luddugaza kati byayogera tabitegera musajja wattu. Kimadi mbagamba tulekerawo okwetonza abantu tetwetondera poliisi. Abantu baleke be-expressinga obusungu bwabwe. Obusungu bulinga okunywa omwenge. Omu anywa omwenge asanyuka busanyusi n'alinya ku mmeeza omulala abeerawo n'aseka nga talina ttabu yonna. Kati gwe oyagala beera peaceful oba okitegeera naye oli waba olidde obusungu akasirikale abadde peaceful akute black card egamba Anita must resign March to Parliament. Kasirikale kamukuba tia gas waba akakubye oluyi muleka akakubo oba akafumbu bagire. Ze njagala abantu mubagambe kuba ne president waffe president wange oyo Museveni simumanyi owange bamuyita Kyagulanyi yatugamba abakadde awo mubagambe either batwegattako yagamba bwati either batuwabule ebati basobola tuwabula batwegatteko oba sikyo batuviire watujja bakoona ekigenda okujja ku Tuesday kigenda ku sparking off ekintu history kigenda okulumembaringa era kiri eriggwe ali akyatekerezamu if you are still doubting yourself this is the time for you to stand to be counted like abana bo bagambe nga stories ngo bagamba was among those brave Ugandan youths that stood against all the odds and put an end to the dictatorship sagala mubeereyo nga simanya mubeera mu buliri omuntu akwate jinja n'ali kasukira omuntu oba n'avuma akasirikale tasinga Museveni yakwate mundu n'agenda natta abantu emitwalo 5 emitwalo 5 ogimanyi ng'ogirina mu nsawo bwoti omye Museveni yatta abantu emitwalo 5 naye nze wenkwata ne vuma Anita Amongo ne mugamba Anita weeyerusa mbasi sinze Museveni yakwata abantu abakola
tetugana okuvuma izo nebo mugamba bwalinga amatako because ekyo olaba gundi ani nebo mugamba mbu Anita Amongo matako like that no problem that is okay it is allowed tekirina buzibu bonna sebo kasota tetukiza kanyuga jinja ekyo kyo tetukiza kanyuga jinja sebo tetujja kukiza wano muntu agamba abantu kanyuga mayinja naye kasogamba nebo no gamba nti Anita matako butako awusina buzibu naye kyo kanyuga mayinja nedda sebo tetujja kukiriza because at least ekyo twakitandika from the beginning kati gwe players wakanachi wamagenda maso
amatako Anita so agamuvuma kubata gaina omuntu omuvuma kyalina naye kyemade ngamba abantu bamade bebuuza lwaki tugenda ku parliament parliament kye kiyungu kyeno kyeri neggwanga ani bali bagamba lwaki tugenda mu state house nika state house kali awo kumpi nakase nze wenjogera ano ndi mu Kampala wekinakwata ennyo nika state house kalumba ya Museveni naye tumugamba alinga amachi aliga echwalata omanyi Uganda nenyiza zinatambulako ko mukama yanyamba nentambulako nenjifuluma naye ogenda nolaba abantu kati nola politics ali mu America abasajja bakampaininga nze munonda ngenda kyusa climate isima climate tebakyali ku nguudo naye fe wano buli campaigning njagala mbakolere enguudo njagala mbakolere amalwaliro njagala mbakolere biki ebintu basics bitusasulira omusolo nze nakali mugaye kenkola naye buli mwezi omuyaya asalako payers you earn esuka mitwala 2 emitwala 2 ago ganuma kubanso osasula mu rent kange eno jembeera naye omala ogenda olaba mitwala 2 kali mbadde manyi bagisasudde ngenda genda ekirudunsa ng'eddagala ekirudde wali wali nepeke eddagala n'eryo n'erimu oba okyali awo mbwate speaker Anita Amongo simanya yaguze generator mbwate speaker Anita Amongo yagenze bweru simanya yagula bizigo byerusa ebintu ebyo ebinyize nnyo buli omu ayina okusitukiramu ku Tuesday nzira mbagamba I'm already fired up and I'm ready to go wamutuganya okuba amayinja tujja bakuba ebivumo tujja bavuma tujja kukola placards era nze nimabega wa buli omu akiriziganya n'okutambula okutuuka ku parliament gamba leke obudde bwebuuka tugendeko mu kibaala
okay so ko nywa bulungi tova kati nolemo nobera ng'ovuddeko 2-3 ng'ovuddeko ng'okyavuddeko so nywa bulungi blood erinnya lyo likufaana maani oli trouble njereere temuli gundi so no Uganda lindako sempija unmute
naye nga trouble aliwa wennyini abebbala saawa zezo tatubulidde wawo ali wennyini yandibanga yeetaaga kampani etutandika struggle awo mu kibaala
nedda nyabo tukwagala wano va mu gundi sempija agenda maaso
yes mumpulira bulungi nsanyusa okubawulira neyanza nnyo okubanga ndi wano nange ku platform eno
simbula
at least nga nange nakyengatta ku ggwanga lyange omanyi olwaleero mbaddeko wano naye nga bwendaba muzeeyi waffe nabo oba oliawo ayinza otuwayo ka surprise n'atugamba bannange abavubuka mbalabye byemuyayanira kukola kusingira ddala kituyayanira corruption kuba corruption mutukkirize tugaane ese buli kimu kyetwandibadde oba oliawo kitutuukako ne kituluubirira okufuna ffe ng'omujiji oguliwo saako n'ogulijja naye omuzeeyi nga mukwano gwaffe watugambye omuzeeyi nange kinseseeza nnyo bw'agambye nti bannange temukkirizibwa kwekola kaasa kubanga mujja kulinnya ebintu by'abantu ate wano muzanya na muliro omuzeeyi akyalimu embeera eri ey'ekinaana nti akyewulira amaanyi ag'okukwasa amaanyi ekifo okuvaayo ne yeetonera abantu nti bannange leero mmeesinze bannange kino kyantabukako bannange kino munsonyiwe kakati tugenda ku bintu kubiza bujja naye akyayogeza amaanyi akyayogeza effutwa akyayogeza okugamba olabira ddala nga tetulina president bannange wano nno wensabira buli muntu yenna eyandibadde ali eyagamba nti bannange kanjira nninda mukanjira nzira mu nsonda nti luno olulimbi lwe tulina nga tetunaakuluggusa tetulina mirembe mu nsi eno weŋŋambira nti bannange ng'ovuddeko emirembe naye tetulina gye tulaga ensi ku myaka 4 omusajja abadde alina byalaga ku TV1 butuufu okaaba n'amaziga omusajja n'alaga nti waliwo abantu abatuuse abana kye batuuseeko n'atulaga ente n'atulaga abalina zifaamu ez'enjawulo atulaza abalina ennimiro naye mmwe kamba sese mukimanyi nti ezimu ku faamu zaatulaza efaamu ze nga mwali ne mutabani we mu bantu bonna bonna abali mu nsi Uganda at least byandibadde atulimbirako nti bannange ono yatandika bwane bwati atulaze ye n'atulaga n'egy'ekinaana 1986 ng'ajja mu bukulembeze bwe yali ne muhoozi mu butuufu ndabiri ddala nga amaziga gankulukuta nga tetukyalina bukulembeze mu ggwanga lino awo nno bwe twandibadde ffenna tuyimukira n'omulanga nti nga 23 buli muntu yeeweeyo at least tuweeyo akaseera kano okutuusa eddoboozi kwabo abalaba nti ensi baagikwata eri mu mikono gyabwe ensi baalaba nti tewali kiyinza kukolebwa nga si bo tubalage nti bannange waliyo Uganda ng'ovudde ku bo waliyo Uganda naffe gye tulowooleza nti erijja mu maaso abaana baffe abazzukulu baffe tulina gitandika leero ekyamazima ku lwokubiri luyinza okuba olunaku olutajjaayo kyennyini kye twandiyagadde naye tululeka kisi lubeere entandikwa waliwo omunafu agambye awo nti bannakenya ekintu kino bakitandika 2023 ne bajja nga bakitandika mpola ekintu kino nze mbadde nsaba buli muntu ali wano naddala mpuliriza nsaba busabi nti bwe tuba twogera tuteekemu n'ebibuga n'obutawuni obulala Kampala ikayinza obutamala kujjayo ddoboozi lyaffe nze mu kulaba okwange naye tuteekemu amatawuni nga Masaka nabo babeeko we bakola kye balagira obutakkaanya baabwe amatawuni nga Jinja Mukono Lira Mbale Poti buli atuwulira ng'asobola okubaako kyakola eyo gyali kuba Kenya okwewuguta obadde Nairobi wokka twe tulaba ebibuga byonna byonna Kisumu bonaabona abeetoolodde Kenya ebibuga ebisinga obungi nga birimu okwekalakaasa awo nno kibayita amaanyi kuba Museveni yayinza okulowooza era wabadde ayogera abadde ng'alaga nti abantu abali mu Kampala abayise ba ghetto kid abali yamanyi siramu zizokka zamanyi amanyi Katanga yokka tamanyi yo siramu zindala
nayo tamanyi waliwo omulamu ng'agenze ko mu Katanga nawe nayo tamanyi
alabika nankabiri wa yamugambye nankabiri aka yamugambye naye mucho kyentegeeza nti bwe tunengeejinga mu tawuni z'endala ate eddoboozi lyaffe ligenda kuwulirwa nnyo okusinga ku Kampala kuba balowooza nti Kampala wokka we bali abantu abatuzoganya oba abaali badde balaba bitukola n'ebitulemye okukola so nga ate etawuni eziri mu byalo bebasinga wate okuba obubi kuba kati bw'otunulira amatawuni amalala ageesudde Kampala mu butuufu gali bubi n'okusinga Kampala ono wennenyeza abantu naddala bali mu byalo abantu abali mu byalo ekyamazima bali bubi nnyo n'osanga essomero nga kumpi tosobola nadisibamu nte eyo tosobola nadisibamu kabuziko naye ng'omwana wo mwasomera okitegeera n'osanga eddwaliro nga tosobola wadde naawe kubeebakamu oba kulifumbamu mmere naye nga gwe bagogenza okunira empeke okitegeera so kati embeera ng'eyo butavaayo kulaga butali bumativu abakulembeze bagenda kumanya ddi nti bannange embeera eno bannayuganda tugirimu tulaba embeera gye tulimu twetaaga ogivaamu so nga maliriza nkubiriza buli muntu waali mu kiti kyagwamu mu lulimi lwasobola mu kiraasi yonna gy'alimu afube ategeeze buli muntu nga tososoddeemu nti ono muzeeyi tososoddeemu nti ono mukazi tososoddeemu ono mwana amutegeeze nti bannange tulina ebbanja ery'okusasula tulina olutalo olw'okulwana kununula ensi yaffe nze mbadde ndowooza n'okulowooza nti olunaku olwo n'abaana baleme genda ku ssomero tuluweeyo nga lwansi ebeere public day ebeere ekintu ekyokulabirako nti atleast twatandikira wano lunaku lwe lwatandika ekintu bwekiti ne bwekiti bwe tunaakikola abantu abo bajja kuwulira neyanze bannange
webale nnyo omukulu Sempijja eddoboozi lyo litegeerekese ndowooza suggestions zo zonna z'owadde z'abantu ze baagala okuwulira omuntu yeebuuza ow'e Masaka agenda participating atya mu March oba oli Masaka agenda weekalakaasa Masaka mu town olina eddembe weekalakaasa Masaka mu city okulaga otali mumativu so tewetaaga kujja mu kibuga oba oli gulu tewetaaga kujja mu Kampala ensonga ezitukwatako nga bwogambye neeyo mu byalo gye ziri ate z'amaanyi nnyo so enguzi emenye nnyo ebitundu by'omu byalo n'okusinga ne mu kibuga so buli omu alina okuyimusa eddoboozi lye mu mirembe ngenda kuwa omukisa Ronald K after Ronald K twesije
yeah bros check your DM
okay
hello
yes please
okay neyanza muganda wange okunteekako ku space eno njagala kubalamusaako bassebo ne bannyabo abaliko kuno nze Ronald Kwizera member wa Torture Survivors Movement Uganda kakati nyine ensonga zange mbadde njagala okwogerako ku lunaku lwokubiri kigenda okubeerawo mu ggwanga okusookera ddala yogedde ku outside people abali mu bibuga ebiriraanye Kampala the fact that nti hashtag yaffe eri March2Parliament kitegeeza omuntu ali e Masaka naawe osobola okutandika okutambuza ebigere ng'ova Masaka naye ng'ekigendererwa kyakulaba nga tutuuka ku Parliament kubanga Parliament eno efuuse entabiro y'ebyobufuzi eby'ekiyaaye entabiro y'obubbi bwonna obw'omu ggwanga muno Parliament eno ye arm ya government eteekeddwa okulondoola buli kintu kyonna ekikolebwa amasiga gano abiri okulaba nti kigonda wakati mu birowoozo bya bannayuganda. Naye ate bwe banga Parliament yeseeseddemu buli bwenguzi tuwuliddeko emabegako awo bungi, kitegeeza ensonga lwaki tulina okumakinga nga tugenda ku Parliament. Kakati waliwo omuganda wange yabadde ayogerako saategedde oba yabadde yagambye nti waliwo nti ayagala kuba musirikale afune akasirikale akakuba ejjinja oba ki. Ndowoozamu nti olwaleero tetwetaaga kuba nti tugenda kukola demonstration eno ate turning into violent, kubanga bwe turning into violent egenda kutuuka ekiseera nga poliisi oba amagye oba whatsoever nabo balina ensonga lwaki balina okukuba abantu amasasi, lwaki balina okukuba abantu embooko, lwaki balina okukola buli fujjo yonna bakola. This must be purely a non-violent demonstration, kubanga tetulina kuwa poliisi ya Mwai Museveni. Mujjukire nti bino byonna tubikola naye ono tudiringana na kyemalira. We must era tetusuubira nti tulina okulowooza nti ebintu demonstration eno ejja kubanga eyo Kenya, kubanga Kenya olaba nti waliwo at least a bit of democracy eriwo. Kati wano tudiringane na kyemalira, a hybrid dictator. Nolwekyo tulina okwewala okulaba nga at least tuteekawo nsonga yonna lwaki omusirikale alina okukuba ekyasi oba omusirikale alina okukuba embooko oba omusirikale. Tutiyagasiyo is sure deal, naye twewala okulaba nti tuluzinga obulamu bw'omuntu bwonna. No vandalizing of property of people, tewali kuruutinga, tewali kukozesa bukambwe eri basirikale, tewali kintu kyonna kiprovokinga musirikale ono okulaba nga asobola okusumulula emmanduso ye okutta omuntu. So ndowooza ye campaign gye tulina okutambuza, kubanga bwe tunaaturninga into violence, turninga into okuruutinga, ebintu bitandike nti okwata ejjinja likuba omusirikale, kitegeeza n'omusirikale oyo naddala abo aba wansi bayite kubanga tebabeera naku orders bo oba oli awo nabo ze bataagala, so bw'omukuba ejjinja oba omuggyako. Ensonga nayo nga ngitadde awo. Then ekyokubiri, abantu bonna abagenda okumakinga ku lwokubiri, strategy ffe gye tuli mu kuteekateeka yakutambula nga tulina bannamawulire media. Wherever you're going, make sure there is a camera ekutunuddemu, kubanga waba tewali camera at least nemu abantu 10 mwefirizeeko omu oba agende TikTok live oba akole ki, n'ekikulu nti waliwo camera ekutunuddemu for the case of your security, kubanga bwe tunabeera nti osimbudde okutambula ova bwayise naye ojja buzi police can interject awo nawona waba tewaliwo kikulaba oba kintu kikufuula visible, kitegeeza kyangu nnyo okunetralizinga n'okukola ebikyamu byonna nga bwe manye security apparatus zaffe zino, kubanga njala okutegeeza nti tubuli mu kupreparinga but even the state is preparing. Era kyekimu nti n'abantu bennyini abakyamu bayinza n'okubateeka mu bantu labe ng'ekibinja kizze kigamba kiri mu kumakinga to Parliament naye ng'ate kijja kyekinyakula obusimu, kyekikuba abantu, kyekikuba emmotoka z'abantu, okwongera okulaga violence eri mu kino gavumenti efunire weesobola okubira abantu amasasi. So zizo points zange bbiri sofa ze mbadde njala okwogerako baganda bange.
Webale nnyo Ronald. I think I completely agree with you, especially on the issues of throwing stones. None of that, guys. We are non-violent guys, and one of our key value or principle, we shall remain peaceful at all times, even if we know that they are going to be very violent with us. First of all, we have been saying these things a lot of times. Will agree with me. And all of you who have been attending these spaces, Dr. Stella Nyanzi has been saying the same things. We cannot go out to assume to be like we are more violent than the state. Okay, so our way is we go with, first of all, knowing that we are each other's keepers. We are using our mobile phones to make sure that we are live, we are taking pictures as much as possible. You have to be, guys, having data, and if internet is shut, there are also other alternatives we are trying to explore. Have your VPNs on, have your power banks charged. The only things we are encouraging people to carry, it is a flag, whichever size it is, a flag of Uganda. We are encouraging people to carry, and we are saying we, the people who have been on these spaces, because these suggestions are from Ugandans, the flyers are all over internet. A flag, a bottle of water, carry something to eat for yourself, and understand why you're marching. Don't just move out of your home because someone is going, and when you meet something and they're asking you, why are you doing this? And you don't know what to answer. You just like, I saw my friend going and I was like, why not? Let me just follow. No, have a genuine reason. Corruption affects you, whether you know it or you don't know it. Corruption really affects you. So have also a vuvuzela, a whistle, wear a comfortable shoe, comfortable clothes, so that if police is trying to chase you, you can run and regroup with your fellow comrades. This time, we are not going to run, getting borders and running to our homes. No, it's running and regrouping. And there is something we have been preaching here, that if we see people who are violent, okay, if we see people who are violent and they are dressed in our clothes, First of all, is to tell them in a friendly way, like, don't do that. That is not why we are here. We are not here to destabilize anyone's business. People have rights to do their business, just like you have a right to go and protest. So let people go their business. Just be you. This is why it's important you know why you're there. You're just there to tell our parliamentarians that we don't need what they are doing, and if possible, they should resign. So peacefulness, or discipline and peacefulness, it's what we have been emphasizing, because also it is only that principle that will unite us with different people. The lawyers are not going to represent a group of violent, type of kids. They are going to represent a group of organized people. We've been trying to say these things. So I was not able to interject that speaker. Personally, I felt I'm not comfortable with that conversation of throwing stones. And the police, for Christ's sake, they will be maybe also trying to do their job. If a police is not beating you, just be easy. Show love. If someone is beating your colleague, show them love. Hug them. We need each other that way, because we have been preaching that one love, and we are going to stick to our problems. Our problem is corruption, not the Uganda police. Okay, so if they don't know that, we know our problem. Thank you very much, Ronald, for that clarification, and I find it very important. TSJ, please step over.
Yeah, nyanza banaye ono TSJ Didas avene kitagwenda mu Western Uganda.
Kitagwenda?
Yeah, Kitagwenda district.
Kitagwenda nayo district. Is it between what and what?
That district was cut from Kamwenge. Kamwenge district, this side is the way they just get one county, they make it a district. Bashkora we bati bakwate Sazalimun but for a district team.
That's how you get the majority in parliament.
2019, Yeah. Hey, my issue is let's engage and we involve students from schools. I'm always thinking that if we can mobilize students, those who are in town, those schools, those students move out, those peoples, the guys at universities, we can make a greater change of our country. If we can get students and they move out, and they add on local people who are trying to help us to move to march to the parliament, and we encourage to use our local languages. Kubanga abantu ebintu tubategeera wano mu kyalo, tubategeera tugezaako omuntu n'omubulire kigenda mu maaso n'agamba bino omanyi buli district erina amawulire geewulira gaayo. Ekizibu ekitwine omu district ziitu buli district neehurira amakula gaayo. Noleka mbagambira omuli Nyankore, mu Rutagwenda rwitu abakulicenga balicengi. Twine ekizibu buli district neehurira amakula gaayo, ne radio tezikureta amakula gakufa omu ihanga lyona. Kandi radio nyingi zona ziri mu byaro kumya zona nezaanaka neza government nezikusapotinga government. Nyona ninteekateeka ngu twakozesa endimi ziitu eshaba abaana bali mu mashomero, tukakozesa abaana bali mu mashomero bakamuvinga bakatambura bakutambura mu parliament gaga amashomero gona gari muri Kampala na bari mu district gabo gona bari mu myanya ndijo nitumanya ba MP bitahi bakuruga. Nyona nishaba kugira ngo turebeke twateka hamana ba MP twabaha bushinge tubarumbo mu makagabo abantu kumukwerundana nk'abantu 10 mukarunda ba MP mukambakari ngwarwo mu parliament. Bose tuna tukabasa kutambura kugira ngo tuze Kampala zo kumakingo mu shika parliament. Nyona nishaba ba MP stabaho businge twatandikiro rwa kabiri kore kintu omumirembe ebyo kurwanagana na polisi n'amahekano mukimanye ntudiringana n'omuntu omushuma tokabasa kumusaba edembe lyawe omushaba bushinge omushuma numumanya abashuma busuma taba muntu naizera bintu bibi yaishire kwiba naizera kwita nokutwara cyaro kwenda muhimi to 21 saba abashuma aba ba MP stabahe obusinge makagawa hibakurga tugamanya biza hafu bazo mu mbaga taro kumwikiriza kugamba nubo kizibu ekizubu cy'amana n'aba politician nubo kutisyaho yona nimbasha bantu mukozese endumi zanyu mugambira abana bato secondary zimuzgora strike yaba begonizing abana no bakutwara cy'umurembe ikintu twakiteka mu abana kambagambire nshobi yabarembezi bite bakora mutubu kugasha nkiza kutiyamba turwanisha abantu n'ababisha bo bakiza bizire bo bakiza kwiba hina karunjo rero mushabe byanagamba natureke intezo yizeye ngo famu ngo kweri natwereka beyemba abo bangoma nayo bori na planning amakuru bacha district mu myaka mike yacu ko gwe twaguma tusami ndara naboreka yo naboreka nabagambira nambwe nibona nagambira abantu beye family ye tino wako banagambira naboreka nkuko baye kumengo ko baragumize ibintu byabo bakwe kwatira umukakunu kabo barkwiba nebyo bice nabashaba mukozesa abana kunka mutakozesa ukavuyo kunka mucyumanya umutuma ngo umushuma tokamusaba kumwesengereze cyo kwenda kandi ba MP stabaho businge bona nebyo bice murareje I beg to submit.
Wishe mwe bari mnonga wishe mwe twahora
we bari mnonga TSJ
yeah from TSJ
mugisha tovuge ko
anga
Norgahi
Yoni ndikachitagwenda
kitagwenda abantu bakitagwenda baturamukize obagambire tubakundaje obagambire nako abiri mu isatu tutwara abashuma nkuzi naye bagayi on a serious note tetwagala muntu aje wano ayuwe ekintu bana Uganda kyebakozeewo for years and years to achieve, because this is something that is uniting all of us. Kati omusajja wuyo ateesa ku kyokuleeta abaana aba secondary aba university katunabeera violent with such people, you know, these are young vulnerable people. We have to really emphasize the thing of discipline bagay. If we have to achieve something, we have to go and challenge these people and reason them out. Equip your friends with information. Chagambye, you try to share information, share facts. You know, that day have your constitution, not something that allows you to protest. Genda ngo chimanyi edembe lyobuntu like constitution yalikuwa to protest na ye constitution tekugamba very violent. So if we are trying to act in a constitution, tuchimanyi constitution ya fairly repped now and then, but we are not going by those principles. The fact that that document exists and it's still the one that these people are trying to use to disguise and you know, because they come for elections and all that, they make it like it's normal. The people who still, they are trying to say, it is allowed in parliament that you can give yourself almost 1 trillion of money and all this shit is happening. They are saying constitution, but MPs, they are here struggling to raise signatures in a parliament that has over 500 MPs over an issue of theft. And these people who are trying to front this censorship motion is being ignored by the parliamentarians. Do those people really know us? Do you think they represent us, Ugandans? So you have to be empowered with information to understand that in the little efforts you try to suffer and put something on the table, these people, it's that money they are using to buy themselves generators, have dresses from the best shops in all over the world, you know. And the other thing, what is the value of that institute if it has a speaker that is sanctioned, not in 1 or 2 countries, but 3, you know? I want to invite the next speaker.
Sorry, just a minute. I have dropped the protest guidelines in the comment section. Please go.
Thank you. And guys, before our next speaker, it will be Sir Ivan. Before I bring the next speaker, please guys, share this space. It is a recorded space. And also cut those parts where people are speaking their local languages, drop them in different sections. And I would love you to also, maybe if possible, you can change your profile picture and put one of the best flyers that you like to just show solidarity. All of us, it's not compulsory, but I mean, you lose nothing. You can after put back your picture just to do that, you know. Thank you very much. Sir Ivan, take over. Sir Ivan.
Am I loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First, I greet all of you, the host and the co-host, the speakers, and all the listeners that have been on this space.
Be close to your phone. You have headsets,
no,
all right.
Okay, as I say, the first thank the host and the co-host, the speakers, and the listeners that are on this space. First and foremost, anyone with a bachelor's degree who is willing to go into farming sector. If you have a bachelor's degree, just go into farming. That's what the old man said. And I just busted into laughter. But as my friends that have submitted, like, was it Wesije from Chitagwenda? At you at Wesije, Nimanyangu Chitagwenda, Aharka Moenji, Muriaba Hindebichu. Nanta Kubi. Yadit Hunkurga Hunkanichman. When Hindebichu, the old man Yakujati, if you have a bachelor's degree, go into farming. Let's be realistic now.
Kilo nesora kasi ndikutano kushata.
Mwene ujaguza kilo zinga hii kufuna milioni 5.
Ezo ni watu kwa milioni 5 za mtani.
Aha. Ntumanyangu now and then amatakanga cyeyongera kutemba. Nujaguza kilo zingi kugira ngo niyo muvubuka nkiyo mtsigazi wayitongora harshona nyoko wayigorora katakaka wayitanisha family yawo waka developing. How many years will you work for that money to buy your own land as a youth to develop yourself? Since the old man is just sending you into a farming sector. So, some elements, including some from those opposition, are always working with the foreigners. So, was it the same? No, where he said that riots. No, what right do you have to seek what right do you have to seek to generate chaotic behavior? We are creating wealth and you want to disturb us. I think I doubt if that statement was from a wise person, like a wise person, like Toharu calls himself. So, yeah, yokusinkomo farming sector inchkweta gisachi kuija kurwa informal sector. I don't know which class is that. Kuija middle income status as he claims, because All along they have been developing different frameworks to take Uganda into a middle income status. So different frameworks have been made to bring us into middle status. But when will we reach into middle status? When we are still in informal sector. Instead of developing these industries and supporting industrialization to come to bring us into middle status, then you never come informal sector. You go back into farming and you have your bachelor's degree that you tell you to get for 3 years or 4 or 5 years. Hona hamwe ko buntu bantu mwe twaga msajja mazima. So ori abangu obanchete ngo ninkoko renjeza nkoko kubano renjeza omuntu. And by the way, these are the very statements that sparked off the 1789 French Revolution, if I'm not mistaken. The same mistakes, I mean, the same foolish statements, they are things that sparked off that revolution that was in French, 1789. So, Tuhaburwa has been here with us crying for corruption, many corrupt officials, what he will deal with them, what. So, as he has called us, the Wazukuru, when he told you we have come to help him to fight the corruption. But the guy is hearing us. 2, in 2019, this fool, the president, did a corruption match. Did the anti-corruption match. And he invited all the Ugandans. So those who were able to join him, they joined him. Those who were not, they didn't, because of different reasons. So if the Ugandans managed, if those few that managed to join him to work, to work for anti-corruption, so why is he disturbing us? So don't we have the right? Is he the only person that has the right to call the Ugandans to join the anti-corruption work? So we don't have our right to call our fellow Ugandans who are tired of corruption to gather and protest against those grievances. So on the other hand, I will again mention it. To me, I thought by now, like probably 3 things would be trending. 1, hashtag Anita must resign. Hashtag March2Parliament. Hashtag stop corruption. To me, I think those things right now, they should be trending. But when I'm looking here in my trends, when I'm seeing this Manchester United 7 address, I don't understand anything. Back to the influencers. I don't know whether you're getting me. Am I still on? Someone
Yes,
to
please.
confirm?
Yes, you're still on. But, Sir Ivan, I would just ask, why shouldn't Museveni must go be trending?
Joe. Hold on, Joe. First, mute your mic. Mute your mic, bro. You'll have time. Go on, Sir Ivan.
So, I thought right now the 3 things would be trending as I have mentioned them. But if I'm looking in my trends and I'm seeing nothing is trending, influencers, because they should be helping us to push this thing all over the social media platforms. But they are there, they are sleeping, they are there, they are posting I mean, when shall we come together and fight for the common cause? I ask myself that question, of which I can't give the answer. When shall we come together and fight for the common cause? Because you think if you post this, someone from the other side will come into your inbox and ask you why you're posting such. If you ask, if the other influencer posts this, he fears or she fears to be questioned. So
Sir Ivan.
Why can't we be independent?
Sir Ivan, allow me to interject a little bit. Mute a little bit so that I don't get feedback. I'm getting feedback. Webale. Kati olaba ku kintu kyaba influence ekyo Sir Ivan. Sagala kikumalira obudde for these few reasons I would like to give you. The first reason is you need to understand being an influencer kitegeeza ki. It's a job in its own. Some people are sponsored, to be influencers. There are so many people that we know that are journalists, name it, they have been fired. Kati this thing tetwagala nnyo, first of all, to make people feel like you have to do it, even though we understand when some people come on the board ngaba influencers kigatako nnyo. So I want you to understand the first thing is they are working under certain conditions and contracts. Ekyokubiri, ekintu kyaba influencers kino kyo kiyinza okujja like journalists. We don't need really to bring them. We Ugandans, we need to understand. Kati influencer aba influencing ani? Aba influencing gwe. Aba influencing nze. So at the end of the day, influencer amanyi naye agajja kuffe abantu. Ate oyinza sanga muba influencers mulimu abo abamanyi nti if you have a thriving society, if you have a society that earns some money and can save some money, if you have a society that has a good road, kubanga ye influencer nyinza okubuuza atambulira ku luguudo ki naye ku luguudo w'ebinnya, those influencers will definitely be there supporting, and we have a few who are supporting low. naye nze I don't want you to also think like it is something that we have to generate energy and focus on it, or it doesn't have any impact as long as Ugandans have decided. Influencers will join kubanga nabo bagenda nekitambula okitegeera bana Uganda bwe tunasalawo that 23rd ne tujja ne tubeera abadembe and we are assertive ekiddako nti all journalists will be on that story kubanga even the journalists we did not start with them, my brother, tubadde tuli naawe, but journalists the first time they appeared bakubye story kiri fake, they get someone from Yumbe ngaali ku internship talina na kyamanyi mutala watu ne bamuteeka mu mawulire bana abakyala, and all that shit that happened, it was because they lacked real facts, and for them it works for them because that is also a tactic to get us emotional and pour our feelings. It can also be a tactic to divert us. So ebintu byaba journalists influencer biki tebitujja ku mulamwa saawa zino we are so close that we should not be begging and booty leaking anybody. Omuntu amanyi corruption bwengeri gye ku affectingamu March to Parliament, influencer bwabazze yamanyi, bwabatazze yamanyi. I mean, we are doing this from self-conviction. This is why we are at this time here, not because we don't have beds or anything. We are really thinking that we deserve better. If you don't think like that, if you don't believe that corruption is a disease, a cancer, then you still need to empower yourself with more information. Naye oli kumulamwa muganda wange genda maaso ekintu kya influence ekyo, I think maybe you could, I don't know, nze sikirabamu nnyo, mulamwa gwa maanyi nnyo. Obaleka ne babeerayo, after all we are 45 million Ugandans. Olinga abana Uganda bagamba mwabali ebweru, mwabali mu byalo. No, we have to right now, no, we must be strategic. Fa abaliwo tukozeewo ki? Abali awake, can we awaken others? And mpola naba influencer nabo they will be awake one day. Kubanga they go to the same hospitals like we go to. Thank you. Genda maso Ivan, as you conclude, and we go to the next speakers.
So as I conclude, I first withdraw, as you said. For that, I thank you for that clarification. I withdraw. But I also want to thank those 3 young, energetic ladies and gentlemen that delivered that petition to the police headquarters, because bevuddemu ne beselecting ne bagamba kakatutwale ekipapula kyaffe. So bakikozere bayiteekamu bayiselectingamu, but they represented us. So I want to thank them on our behalf and on behalf of others. And there is another point I wanted to talk about. There's another point I wanted.
Only muted, bro. Gana mas Ivan.
Ivan, are you there? Yeah, bring back up people. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I can't get Ivan.
Okay. As he struggles with his network, as he comes back, let me read a tweet that has been made by Alan Kasuja. Alan Kasuja works for BBC. He said, "I am a lifelong student of President Museveni. I have deep understanding of his thinking, and Andrew Mwenda says I cut him some slack because of the compromises he has to make to keep Uganda going. I disagree anyway. For the first time, I have serious questions about Muzee's grasp of what Uganda's young people are saying. You can't tell them that we are wealth creators and you should either join us or get out of our way. They want to create wealth too. They are desperate to join, but they feel unseen, unheard, and generally disregarded. They don't feel like they have a stake in the country. And to tell them that they're playing with fire is to miss the point. They don't care. They don't fear violence. Talk to them about opportunities, expand ideas of production beyond farming and animal husbandry. Talk to them about innovation and monetization of content creation. Give them grants to explore creativity. Our software developers are world class. Need I add that Musk, Gates, and Bezos are software developers? Show them opportunities that AI and machine learning present. He said a lot of things, but there's a speaker who talked about the same thing, that someone with bachelor's omusindika kola kulima okitegeera, and this is what that's why I got that I got that tweet. It was interesting that I found it, and whoever said it, whoever made that
it was Sir Ivan.
It was Sir Ivan. Yes, it is. I think that is. Yeah, I think that is it. Yeah.
Yeah, so senatwa breaking news in Tipuyali and a degree report to farming. Before I bring our next speaker, which will be Mukungu, I want to give 1 minute to Mugisha.
Isaac ayogedde.
Isaac agenda kudaka after Mukungu. Isaac asesanga yaddako.
Thank you very much. Night shift we did.
Night shift ojiwulira muganda wange. People are thinking. People are speaking.
For me, I will be brief. Kuba nina okugenda mu swale saawa zinaatera okugwako. Nina okusabira ku ggwanga lyange. The first thing tumira mu buli mbega ali kuno kutumidde muganda wange. Webale gwokola n'okutuusa obubaka bwaffe kasita obutuusa nga bwe tubukuwadde wano.
Sylvia agenze.
Kwantegeera mwana gwe.
Sylvia agenze muleke.
So ekisooka kye njagala obbagamba abasinga abalabye mwami Museveni byayogedde omanyi nze sibiraba wabula ndaba bukoti abamawulire bwe bakola. Main speech mwino kimanya nti yabadde kuffe, yabadde main speech naye nga yetabise mu simanyanga wealth creation kachicha naye nga abadde kuffe ffe badayagala okwogerako ekyo twadde tukimanya already era kyovula ffe basembezaayo naye mu kwogera kwe agenze n'agamba simanyanga bannayuganda agenze ayogedde ebintu bingi naye mu bimu ku byayogedde kimanyi good girl yabasomedde ebimu ku byo not so nze manyi njagala nnyo okutematema ensonga ezo agenze n'agamba when you demonstrate in a place like Kampala, people are selling their products on the roadside. Are you going to step on people's products? You are playing. Do not have such ideas in your head. Nenebuuza ani amugambe tugenda mu kwekalakasiza mu butale.
Mowino.
Ekyokubiri yasuubiza abantu obutale nandisuubidde nti waliwo obutale obweyawulidde abantu gye bakolera tugenda ku parliament ekyagala okugamba parliament kafuuka katale bw'aba ayogera ekyo I can concur with him nti parliament katale olw'ensonga katale buli alimu alina kyatunda waliwo atunda biiru waliwo atunda
kati mugi kyogamba ye bwategeko like his demonstrations kubanga akoze demonstrations nyingi nnyo oba ku stop EACOP muve ku mafuta gaffe akoze demonstrations recently ku parliament bo abasuubuzi yabategeeza basooke baggalewo yakola atya
nga mugamba nti mutuufu parliament ko katale buli omu alina ekikyakitundira ku parliament nga akoona ennyondo yanita amongi yakoona ennyondo ta bagamba banaye tulina bigundi eya loko omulundi gumu akawumbi emirundi akawumbi
auction house
wadde ebisatu so bw'aba ayogera ekyo we can accept with these statements ekyo kyongera kino bannaye ku mmeeza yaabwe twatuuseeyo tuli ku mmeeza zaabwe kati they are discussing us and it should only give us more energy to see that these people we have them tebalina gye balaga we have them and we are not going to let them just go like that more so again n'agamba some elements that means naye kenyini tannategeera who okay some elements some from the opposition gyata neeminze yes we are in opposition because we are opposing corruption and those who are on the affirmative team of corruption are in parliament so we are opposing corruption so some from the opposition are always working with foreigners
mukubye point
tebaliiwo bafolena bayogera bebali kati bannayuganda tufuuse bafolena badde nsubira folena yoyo madamu speaker yali omudugavu n'afuuka omuzungu
okitegeera naye mwana gwe towumulako
ekyo bwe tukimala to ferment chaos in Uganda kuva lunaku olwasooka we are talking about corruption and I think corruption yesinza okuleeta chaos n'okuba nti mu parliament abantu banyiga ne batuuka n'okugamba abantu shut up so yandisoose n'agamba those people not to create chaos in the parliament of Uganda he goes ahead and speaks about riots. My dear brothers and sisters, we have not talked about riots. So tatulisa bigambo. Atuteeke ebigambo mu kamwa ffe bye tutanayogerako. Ekyo nakyo kya mpisa mbi. Omukulembeze alina okuba ekyokulabirako lwaki atulimbirira. Muganda wange gundi eno bring back our people. Wawuliddeko wanayogera ku kigambo riot?
Era nze saagala nakiwulira muganda wange.
N'agamba illegal demonstrations within the constitution. What is an illegal demonstration? Alina balooya alina bagundi ono yani.
Era ku kyalooya kikwennyini tulina wano Council Douglas era baganda baffe Council Douglas kwali I think tuna
about inconsiderate processions kyogamba abali enguzi we should be inconsiderate with them nga gwe kenyini wagamba they are like pigs tebalina na bawa simanyanga beiro simanya tebalina na kola ki naye ate we tuvuddeyo okuboogerako atogamba we are dealing with inconsiderate processions nayongera n'abagamba these people are unfair and inconsiderate and should check themselves yandibadde bino abigamba bali bakola
naye mwana ebibuuzo by'omuzeeyo ebyo nze simanyi lwaki obirese na wano boy
you know I want people to understand more nti ono omusajja abadde azze kukola threat olw'ensonga aliwo kavidiyo akasooka otambula oba olowooza ojjukira akasooka bantu ne bagamba lwaki muleeta ebikadde tabyogerangako so kati bagadde okurecreatinga the scene bagadde okuddamu ka sinema naye kati ali kukutalika ka sinema mwana tunze nga Vijay Junior mbadde nkatema mu balaga nti bannaayi ku waggulu bakulaga nti mpologoma wansi waliyo gundi eno waliyo mbuzi enyuma omukyomo so tulina okubeera nga twetegese olw'ebigambo ng'ebyo byayogedde abadde azze tutiisatiisa nakwogera bigambo bwe bityo so neyanziza mukama wange obugalo obwo ndwawo bufuna olaba mbufunye leero so is he on our side or not on our side it shows directly that he is on the side of the corrupt so he should just tell the woman eyamukubidde akasimu n'amugamba bannaye bandi bubi olwokuba baga kuyisawo kibiru kyabwe ekya parliament okulonda president amugambe mwana bino bisuseewo omulamuzi bannaye akaliro kabali bize olaba omukulembeze w'eggwanga fountain obuhona simanya biki saabalwanyi avaayo ayogere ku ffe basajja batw abakeera wano tutandika okubeera nga tusaba eggwanga lyaffe litereere muli b'amaanyi mwenna abali ku night shift muli basajja ngwaŋŋuli muli basajja mmekete neyanziza nnyo ndowooza kankomawo ndaba kirafu ayagala kwogera mukungu ayagala kwogera kamba
mazima naye baganda bange bali wano mugi muting ako guys. Yeah, we are going to come to you guys. Just be patient. Space and agenda running a pack. We are very privileged to have Council Douglas, and I think it is only right. Kubanga tubadde tusubira vera na ye space yabadde we misana. I tried to even tag him. I didn't even see him in the audience, so I was thinking maybe if it's fine to more opportunity, then we can go back to our normal order. Yeah, Council Douglas, we are privileged to have you, and please unmute.
Hi, night shifters, the nocturnals, the patriots of this country, kings and queens. I always refer you as such because I really feel that you're kings and queens of this nation. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity and jumping the queue. Now, for long, we have been set the agenda, and we have been going by the agenda that has been set for us by others. I think, and I feel it's right that the young people of this nation, the young people of this country, the Pearl of Africa should set the agenda and steer, whatever wheel that is there to be steered. I happen to listen and check social media pages about what really transpired earlier yesterday, from Capital Gang to NXT to this radio, NBS, I'm forgetting the name, and many things. And I like the fact that Next Radio, yes. And I like the fact that we are driving the agenda, and we shouldn't take your feet off the gas. It should be like that. And I can tell you and assure you that the president has been brought to his knees, because from the fact that he can call a national press to talk about the young people, he feels a little bit of some pressure. And he should high time listen to the young people and address the concerns of the young people as such. You in history, you all remember one Thomas Sankara, whom but at the time of his reign, he made sure that he consulted each and every single person. He reduced the number of his minister. I think he had like 15 ministers for Burkina Faso. He sold the presidential jets. He turned the money back to the economy to be able to benefit the health sector, the roads, basically infrastructure, to basically improve the livelihood of the people of Burkina Faso. And so much really that he did to unite the people. Down here in south, not even south, in Tanzania, Julius Nyerere did the same to make sure that the people, the Tanzanians, were united in respect to building the nation and things like that. Here, if you look at it, what really happens is leaders that are ruling are pretty much doing division, and then enriching the very few. So there's something in economics and also in law of commercial law is called the doctrine of enrichment, which says that people simply use the available opportunities to enrich themselves against the interests of against the detriment of the poor. So the poor keeps getting much more poor and whatnot. Now, mind you, the population of the young people are always majority. I think it's still 76%, and things like that. And every year, if you look at the statistics, there are over 4,000 people who graduate from academic institutions. My brother, Dr. Anyama, is here, I think, in the space. He knows some of these statistics much more better. And also Dr. Stella, I saw her earlier on the space. I'm not sure if it's still there. But you can know the statistics to tell how many people get out of universities. And once when people get out of universities, people become, name it, from doing all sorts of odd jobs, and things like that. And they are not listened to. It's only the few privileged families that get their families, that get their children connected to jobs and things like that. So now that the voice for the young people are not really heard. So whereas our monies, our taxes that we pay in Uganda are really not going to that very particular units to which they're supposed to be directed to, and it gets in the wrong hands, something like that. Anyway, that's basically my very brief things. But now, back to the law. Earlier on, during the day, I met a young person who is active on this space to simply have a discussion and things like that. So I was like, now, the best we can do at this material time is, we all know that there are people who are against us, as those who intend to march in Parliament in protest to stop corruption and ask for put across their demands to the government and things like that. Now, for us to collect evidence, whichever with your phones and whatnot, take pictures, but make sure that if there's any police officer who antagonizes your rights in whichever way, who violates your rights, who does anything contrary to what the law says, make sure that you document all that information. Because with whatever is happening, one way or the other, we may have to end up in court. Now, what happens now in court? There are two things. The first one could be we're simply, trying to see whatever positions of the law violated in one way or the other. But the other one is there's a law called the Human Rights Enforcement Act. Now, the Human Rights Enforcement Act provides for provisions on which you can hold individual persons accountable, more especially people who are in positions of power, like for example, police officers, of course, the army, and many others of those many people who are connected to power, and their powers and duties and responsibilities are enforcing the law. However, that law provides that you can hold them individually accountable because of whatever they do and whatever they happen to, in the course of their duties, they do things that is much more contrary to what they're supposed to do. So you can hold them individually accountable, and whatever comes out of it, they will be held accountable. That's one. The other one is, of course, the Attorney General, where you hold the government accountable, but you sue the Attorney General. And of course, when I read that letter that Frank Mwesiga wrote, for me, my interpretation of that law is for him, he does things not caring whatever outcome out of it, because he knows that either way he will not be sued in his individual capacity. It will be the Attorney General to be sued for the actions of the police, because he said, if you look at, of course, the signature, after his signature, he identifies who he is, then he puts his title in the police and things like that. So that means whatever thing he's doing it in that capacity, that official capacity. So you cannot sue him in his individual capacity, but rather you sue the Attorney General and the police for the acts of the police once when you intend to challenge him in court based on that. However, besides the Attorney General, it's also good to identify individual police officers who may want to come and violate your rights, first of all, but also do things that are contrary to what they are supposed to do. And as I said yesterday, that the day before yesterday, that Article 212 is very clear about the functions of the police. And also, if you go to the Police Act, their powers and the duties of the police are defined. So it's good for us to also saw any violation that may occur to any individual. That's one. The other thing is that, as I said, the world is watching every single thing, and whatever we are doing is civil in nature. I believe that no one is going to come with pangas and whatever thing that's, which is obviously, I believe that they're not rules of engagement of these protests. So, while you are out there, make sure that you exercise non-violence. If you're not violent, you follow the law and you follow the procedures and what is provided for and whatnot. And anything that happens, the international community is watching, and it's of course through some of the pressures that comes from outside that will make some of the people to feel to align themselves with the law, because I know for a fact that there are people who fear sanctions and the people who also have their businesses out there. So if they do anything else, we are going to tell the international world who has done it, what the person has done, and also we shall hold them accountable both in this country but also outside of this country. So my one thought is to say that whatever happens, let's document this information, and something may come out of it. It's just to be cautious of what might come out of this. So basically that's what I would like to address. But to hold these people into account and to also bring forth your agendas to the table. And truth be told, you don't have to always be in the kitchen or to be a messenger. You have to sit on the table and to be able to make decisions. You have to be on the table to be considered. I mean, to put forth your concerns so that these concerns can be considered on the agenda and have it discussed. The same way how you've brought the president or to hear and to listen, and all the other people, the discussions that have been started because of the March2Parliament and Stop Corruption discourses. So I really feel this is a step in the right direction. The results might not necessarily be achieved in 1 day or 2 days or a week or something, but consistency in making sure that your agendas, whatever the young people are thinking, is put on the table to bring change and to make sure that we turn things around for us to be considered on the table, but not just because be kept at an arm's length or be in the kitchen somewhere else at peeling matoke, but not on the eating table. Thank you so much once again. Bring back people. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Council. Baganda Bafe, Council. Thank you very much, guys. Share the space. I will not waste. So now, Inayo, any kind of question or something?
No, I was listening carefully with what he says, and he has been talking a lot, especially in our spaces. So I really appreciate this kind of submission. It's very important for a person that is going to protest to listen to that kind of submission. It is so important. I think one of the things that we should know is the kind of defense. That's why even Museveni is threatening right now, because he knows that now Ugandans are seriously taking a step, But which kind of security do we have? We have a security, like how I can't even repeat what Council said, but just know that we are secure. At least for that one, as a country, as people, we are sure that we are secure. That's why he threw those kind of threats in a way trying to. Because I saw even somewhere he's telling us that those of you who want to protest, you go and speak to Edith Nakalima. She's the one who organized the protest, or what and all that. All that they think that there's a certain kind of leader that they are going to meet and then strike a deal and all that, So this is what also, but also council said something here: the bargaining power. You can't cook, you can't say you can't peel matoke, but then when they serve, you can't be on the serving table. As Ugandans, are we really on the serving table? As young people, are we really on the serving table? No, we are not there. So this thing of sending young people to go to farming, graduates and all people that are big, like completing education, and you send them to farming, it means you are taking them away from the dining table. So I think even a young Ugandan right now should be even much more angry to even do something. I think thank you so much, Council Douglas. It is I'm surprised that you are here. It is late, but you're still here. Thank you so much, Council Douglas, and thank you for standing with us.
Council Douglas is a regular meanwhile of night shift.
Hey, but it's money.
Meanwhile, in the audience, tuna yone Council Tobias. So salute, sir. We send you greetings. Never na Uganda when na space and hours, Yeah, we appreciate your time. Yeah, Chinofena, Chituruma, like it hurts, man. It hurts. Let's run to Mukungu, and then after Isaac and Joe. Yeah, Mukungu genda. Muji tugenda kuja, bro. I know. Tugenda kuja Muji. Genda maso.
Njagala kutwala omukisa guno okubeebaza. I try always to pass by and check. So njagala kwogerako omukulu mulabye byayogedde just nti okay comments nsanze ku TikTok because nagamba nze okuva since lockdown those COVID days nagana okuddamu omuwuliriza ebibooziboozi bye, but what I went through most of it babyogeddeko nebuuza really this guy akugamba ayagala creating like wealth within us naye nga programs zaleeta tezi initiating abantu like we the people who are energetic, who are what we cannot access this money, and you are saying ayagala creating a wealth. How? Then I was with my muzei uncle tugezaako okwogera ningamba no, let us be sincere. Ogamba oyagala gaggawaza abantu naye in the first place ojeewo cooperatives, ojeewo even the little maybe land omuntu gyayinza okulimako agezeeko okucontributing to the need of maybe that cash crop, let me say coffee, nti singa buli muntu mu nsi muno ng'asobola okukwata eka emu n'ateekako emmwanyi ne bw'aba producing half a ton each family, that will make us something good. Nga government esobola okukwata emmwanyi ezo on our behalf n'ezitwala, let's say esobodde okufulumya ttani eziwera 5, we shouldn't be even burdened by paying tax. Where we are taking the cash crops, twandibadde nga n'ebyokusasula omusolo ndowooza tubiva nako because we have everything we need here. Naye n'otunuulira abantu ne bakwata ettaka, omuntu omu n'alikwata talina, let's say abye sente, he uses the capacity, but those people don't mind oba akoze ata. You can't produce one and you expect to get what can benefit all. Ekirala nengezaako okuba nyumizaako, we went there in Jinja, n'agamba people lease land to that guy akola sukali, naye abantu ne batafigazaawo yadde piece of land to grow food nga balina kugula buguzi mmere. So you ask yourself, what is this kind of wealth creation ze jayogerako? Guys, always keep people away from engaging in these projects or in creating also wealth. Endala issue gyendina gyembadde njagala, how to be creative and innovative. The time is now on and we don't have time. I was like, singa tusobole okubeera, most people I know bajja kujja ne maybe taxi borders. Tell that guy we need that horn. In case kuba aliwo speaker yayogeddeko, I don't know which space, ng'agamba nti abamu wayinza okutuuka nga time tugambye at this time tugenda kubeera nga tuyimba oluyimba lw'eggwanga. By that time, can a taxi driver, a border rider, private gundi, individual mu motoka yo, can you sound that horn to amplify the voice or to send a sign that this is really taking place? We know most of them, they are fearing to engage and they will be comfortable when they are maybe nga basobola okukolako kye bakoze in their comfort zone. We beg them to do that. Tula ku motoka yo, sound that horn. Sisuubira nti office ajja kujja kugambe nti fulume motoka yo lwaki sounding a horn. No. You sound that horn. Make a loud sound. Let us all be engaged in whichever way possible. Issue gye tuliko nti ey'obuta engaging na maybe Jambia, what stones, provoking those people. Yes, it is the great strategy we can use as we we go on, but we shall see how these people respond to us, because most time abantu omu oyinza otuuka mu group ng'oli kale ye ate yansiimuuka nga tasobola kwekuuma, but how do we manage to control that person? So that calls us okumakinga sure nti omuntu ono tubeera naye mu group, and we encourage or to try to stop that person from getting out of control, and it is us to do that. So we need to pay attention to each and every one who is engaging in this peaceful demonstration. I salute you all.
Well, in your brother. Oh, that was a nice submission. What I want to emphasize into Yogede, we have to identify. And naye, I want to emphasize on the point of if we are faced with police, one of the things you have to consider is tactical withdrawal. You have to withdraw. You should not allow confrontation with police. And we were saying that on that same issue with police, our police, bwaba agezako remaining peaceful. Don't say any kind of words that can provoke him. And even when he tries to beat you or all that, if in case you are arrested, for example, right? In case you are arrested, your friends have to be very conscious with the cameras. In case I'm arrested, for example, the next course of action would my friends is to circulate pictures. It can be maybe offline until they go back online. And most importantly, we shall also establish a way to reach some legal experts. And this information could reach some of the lawyers. This is why Councillor Douglas was emphasizing the point of record, be a journalist, be a citizen journalist, record, take pictures. So tegeera ku olunaku munnamawulire wa NTV or Daily Monitor, any of those media houses, he will be looking for an opportunity where we, the protesters, are trying to throw a stone to our police. And that will be in front of the headline tomorrow. Zabade riot, something like that. We should not allow that to happen. And that includes even us being protective of our colleagues who could go rampant. One of the things we have to run. The other things we are encouraging people, don't come when you're drunk, colleagues. So come a little bit sober, And the most important thing is, if you are arrested, do not try to fight the police. If you're already arrested, to minimize the damages. Try to accept. Yes, Wanika, as long as your friends are around taking pictures, the team of lawyers that we are trying to get in touch with, they will find a way to reach and get you maybe a bail or something like that. Now, yet, it will be important that if your friends have captured some of these events, it is also important when we are going to march, colleagues, we should go with whistles. This gentleman mentioned of some of the taxi drivers who think that is a good idea, but also you guys have whistles. It is another way to communicate in case internet is cut off. Whistle, and we are trying to establish other means that we could use when internet is cut off. For example, if yesterday, for those of you who were on the space, someone who is an IT expert who is also among the Gen Zs in Kenya, but he's a Kenyan and he's a Ugandan, this person. And he was explaining things that were very important. Some of them I can speak them here, others I will retain for security purposes. But some of the things he said is you could get real-time information, whereby you can know, street here, wali roadblock, then they tell you, it street here. These kind of things can help people on ground. And they were telling us, like, Kenyans are good with internet, but they were trying to tell us, internet, Uganda doesn't have the keys, doesn't have that, control over internet. They just have a few things they can pull off, but they don't have total control. They are backdoor, some kind of thing that could work. Just application. So what I'm trying to say, there are so many alternatives. We are trying to think ahead so that when internet is cut, we may have alternatives. But the most important thing will be a whistle. A whistle, when you have it, So I wanted to just supplement on that before we proceed. Isaac Sesanga, it's your turn. Then we shall go to, I think the next one would be either Ashraf or Certified. Let me first check. Sesanga again, Maso.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, thank you. I think I'm loud and clear. Thank you, Bring Back people. Thank you, Suna. It has been a while. So it's a great day today. And I think we are less than 50 hours to the D-Day. So a lot has been said ever since this began. I enjoyed the day. That's why I didn't even complain. Actually, I was about to go even before speaking because I like the power. I like the energy. I like the zeal. I won't say the only Genesis, but it is the millennials. Actually, it is Uganda. Uganda has risen up. Uganda is ready. Uganda is more than ready. And if all of you people have been following today, Saturday is always for political shows on the media, mainstream. But it was the major topic. And it was actually ended by the president himself, that he also had to talk about it. And it was the main reason he came today. After talking about, of course, his preamble of history and what, at the end of the day, then he talked about protests. And actually, if you are a psychologist and you can read the body language, these guys have already, they are very fearful already. And when you see president himself, he's already in fear. This is the truth I'm telling you. I'm not from intelligence. I'm not from army. I'm not dirty. But if you're a son of the land and you've heard his speeches, whenever he speaks, he cannot call us pigs, like he always says. He cannot call us rebels. He cannot call us all of those sort of words because he knows these are the young people. And he tries to cling us.
No, he didn't even call us hooligans.
Yes, he cannot because he doesn't know who is fighting. So he wants to tag us on politicians, but he is trying to pull here and there, but he's not seeing anyone he should tag us to. Of course, that is a win. So it is funny how he was directing us to go to Nakalema after saying that we should not damage people's business selling on the roadside to damage that city. But at the same time, he's saying Nakalema organized a protest from, a anti-corruption walk from City Square to Kololo. And I even replied there that let's assume maybe they walked online. Because if they walked it physically, they were in the city. Yeah? They were in the city and guarded by the police and the army. And actually, the other thing, we are lucky. We have brought a lot of people in. I have seen Dr. Stellanyans every day is always here. Today we had Council Katana, Douglas, and very many others. I tell you, we had also doctors. We have a lot of professionals ready to back us. Some people are just fearing, of course, conflict of interest. Some people are more professional wherever they are, but they are willing and ready to join us. I think of recent, I don't know whether you've seen Imam Kasozi's post. I think also he was also on a talk show today. And this guy was like, this has never happened before. And if people take away their sentiments of maybe I subscribe to this political party, this tribe, what, it can end on 23rd. I tell you, we are talking about rebellions and all demonstrations that maybe they take long, what, yes, true. They take long, and even us to reach here, it did not start like a month ago, like we all say, we started with the spaces. This thing started a way back, but only that, there's no way we reached this place until we continued to get tired. Everyone was getting tired from, let me give you a small, I didn't want to go into history. Actually, my major point by the time I wanted to speak, some time back, I wanted to talk about civic education. We need people, you people here who are at universities, please engage your professors like the way we have Spire. We need more Spires to come and engage into the society. Maybe we call them in our spaces like we've been calling councils. We need those university professors to come and lecture us on civic education because there is what we call cross generation. Because whatever Museveni was saying today, it is already far away from what is real. This guy is not knowing whatever's going on.
He's not in this generation. He's not in this generation.
Museveni was born according to his father. Actually, his name Museveni, it was denoted from these guys there were 7 who came from World War II. That is, I think, the baby boomers, according to the generation names. Baby boomers, they know nothing totally about what is happening because after baby boomers, there is Generation X, there is millennials, there is 3 generations to this generation now. So he's totally off from the the world as it is, apparently. That's why, and the bad thing is, this guy is a student of history, but he continues to read history instead of using history to predict the future. How can you talk about farming? You're talking about acres of land in a society where there is whatever they call it, fragmentation, land fragmentation, where they divide land. Most of the people here, you find 10 people in a family. Like 20 years back, they had like 20 acres. They fragmented it into small acres. Up to now, you find someone atunda asatu kwa abiri. Asatu kwa abiri. Temuli abulange naku zinonga bagamba, there is some, I will not say names, nga property whatever companies ngoli agamba tukuguza plot ya kakadde kamu n'ekitundu. Kati, can you imagine, plot ya twasomanga mu primary nga bakugamba I think 10 meters okuva ku katandalo to the toilet then to the house. Nowadays, of course, because of technology, you can even have a toilet inside your house. Naye ate latrine tosobola beera nayo munda. Naye ate weewuunye omuntu asima latrine just one step okuva ku nyumba. Kubanga alina 30 ku 20 kati omuntu oyo gw'ogamba twagala okole crop growing and simanya what animal husbandry. What the fuck? Pandai. We are past that generation, and I tell you the truth. Abantu babadde nga bamulimba ebbanga ddene because the truth is this guy, of course, akola bene ebyekisiru and his nepotism kind of work n'okubeera nga afanya okufamire yemmo. Abantu abamuli okumpi bonna instead we send them to fight for us, but rather they collaborate with him. Ne batulimba, they have been lying our people for so long until we thank God for Bezos, Elon Musk, and this guy of Facebook. But there's nothing they can hide now. There is totally nothing they can hide from us. I tell you the truth. Chimala. ekimala kimala, we don't need to go into much history naye ekimala kimala, we are awake. Buli muna Uganda ani yali amanyi nti muna Uganda tujja kubeera ku spaces zino oba ku groups zino nazitubeera kwanga we are talking about our country. This one already it is here to energize us. Let us gain more energy. Ekisinga okuba ekirungi, they don't know who they are fighting. Ate n'ekirala luli eri ebiseera byeri nga omuntu agenda okwekalakasa days of walk to work nga bagamba abo bayaye bagenda kunywa njaga bagenda ku lootinga, it is a riot, but this is a demonstration. In the article of 29 1 ekugambirawo nti no, you have to raise and combat corruption. Teyakugambako nti no ogenda kukaabira ewakaawo, because there is some Kenyan, I'm forgetting the name, why is called Fuju yesterday, guy yatugambye whenever they could tell their elders, or whenever the government maybe could inflict some maybe high taxes on the on businesses of the elders, then ngabo kye bakola, they yell a bit, they cry, maybe they make some noise around in their community. Maybe they are sometimes even they are silenced maybe with some policemen and all that kind of sort. After some time nga babivaako, maybe in a day or two. Katinga Museveni ndo byajjanga n'atutiisa biki after 1 2 3 days nga mubivaako nga mutandika okaabira eyo. But this is a generation of a change. It is totally different. I tell you the truth. One of us is going to be killed, one of us is going to be jailed, but nothing is going to stop the change to happen. Ekyo oba oyagala oba tuyagala, we are at a time where abantu abagamba nkasa tufuna control, those generation X and abantu abazaalibwa mu biseera bya 60s, abali mu ntalo z'obote n'amini nani kati nga balaba Museveni yabayamba mbu tewakyaliwo simanya biki bafuna control. It is over. It is over, because of course teri muntu agenda kunkonkona kunkuba mundu or what maybe naye ate ababbi gye bali, ate n'ekirala nyinza n'okubanga wendi naye nga Syria, I'm not earning a lot of jobs. Waliwo agambye bars are closing, NGOs are closing, banks are closing. Of recent bagadde bank bagita Mercantile Bank, ezo zimu ku bank ezibadde ez'amaanyi mu ggwanga muno. Of recent bagalawo yali eno ku Lufula, ku Port Bay Road, eyo bank ebadde yaba abantu b'omu Lufula ebbanga lyonna lyebaddewo nga bwe basavinga sente zaabwe, bagiggala on allegations tebakyafuna amagoba. We are in a country where the governor of the main bank yafa kale yadde mwe. We are in a country where bakwata sente ze bali basindise, I think by then in South Africa, nga bazisindise okuva nga bamaze ozikuba bazireta mu Uganda, oli ne yeekubirayo ezize nazo najja nazo. We are in a country nga Minister of Finance assigning empapula z'atamanyi nti yasayininze, ne bamugamba wasayininga zino nokkiriza sente zino zikolebwe, n'agamba sijjukire, simanyi bansanga nasayininga bye simanyi. Ne tubeera mu nsi that same minister n'agenda auctioninga okuprocuringa ennyonyi as a ministry, ate nga empapula ziriko mannya ge ng'omuntu, nga kiraga nti ennyonyi ye yazigula ng'omuntu. Ebyo byonna we thank some medias like Daily Monitor ne zibikuba amawulire, naye era nabo tubanenyanyo. Sometimes they are handcuffed in a way nti waliwo bye basima ne babaako we bakoma, but they always needed the masses. Era n'ekirala kye njagala osembayo nayo, saagala kubeera mwogezi wa lunaku, kye njagala okusembyayo nakyo mu byonna tubikola, we need masses. Twetaaga buli muntu, era abadde bagala ogamba mbuno tusimanya oli wakuba amayinja biki ffenna tuli banyeevu, tuli basunguwavu. Ekimu, I don't want to sound double standard or to be partisan, naye katugeze ku Nuupu. Let's take a case study of Nuupu. Bobi Wine yatandika n'abantu okwekalakasa naye nga buli kaseera bagamba kimu, tukuume emirembe. Nze ndowooza kye kimu ku kimukumye okubanga naye mwennyini ng'omuntu akyali mulamu, kuba senga yali aleka abantu ne bakola byonna kuba abantu banyiivu, era tuli banyiivu, we can do anything ng'omuntu anyiiza. Naye golooza senga kiri kitya, kubanga a lot of people were not awakened, but what they have done, and all other opposition leaders, we thank them, they have tried to awaken us, and now we are awake. And akati bakatukwasizza, we are leaderless, we are partyless, we are tribeless. It is us as Ugandans who have now known the political education. This political education, yes, this political education they removed. Actually, most of abantu mwena abamanyi nti oli 35 years and below tewasomako political education mu ssomero, babijjawo. Because zinalabanga some of my uncles ebitabo byabwe nga mulimu political education as a topic, I mean as a subject, and they used to study it. Ne babijjawo. I remember I used to hear rumors z'abantu abakulu nga babyogerawo timuna political education bamugjeyo, simanya bataddewo ennongoosereza, all that crap they used to say. Ne babijjawo intentionally. A lot of things they have been doing intentionally, naye nga abazadde baffe nga tebafaayo, because babaddira mu mindset yabo babazanyisiza. Take a look abantu abatujojobya Anita Among was a pro opposition. Ngera ayogera ensonga. We had Betikami, I think in the history of Uganda, I stand to be corrected, ayinza okubanga ye mukazi akyasinza okuba vibrant in Ugandan politics. Betikami, I remember one time yakolako rally ye nga yeesimbyewo okuba president, ne batuuka n'okulonda n'atalonda oba yali bundi bujjo nga this lady is still akyakola campaign single handedly. Naye kati mulabe essaawa za kakati ne office gye baamuwa naye yayita abantu. Wano Bobi Wine yagambanga nti kati omusango nguzize eri abantu nga bawakana. Naye of recent Museveni yagambye corruption kati asaba abantu bamuyambeko. Jeno Kahindo Tafira asaba abantu bamuyambeko. Betty Kamya asaba abantu bamuyambeko. Everyone is asking for the people to come out. Kati who are the people? We are the people. Mukama atuwadde ekintu mu ngalo zaffe weebati 5 kakati teri kuddamu kunenya politician nti ono akoze bwati, teri kuddamu kunenya vacancies bonabona betufunye basobodde okujja ne babira ku side yaffe. I tell you know what taxi oyo mpuliddawo nga tugamba ba taxi behuute oba board abo bo bezira kuwulira wali bantu nga bali ku side. Omuntu yena kati olutalo luli w'abanyigiriza n'abanyigirizibwa. Omuntu yena anyigirizibwa I tell you agenda kwegatta ku lutalo. This is like akaama ninga abakuba akaama. We don't support violence. Naye abo abaana bewala be Kenya abayo cha Uganda House n'abakola effujjo lyonna beekyawa abantu bangi nyera ne mu Uganda beekyawa. We don't support it era tetukiwagira. Naye ogwo omulimu gwa poliisi to regulate or demonstration we bana alemererwa okuki regulatinga fe tuzze mu ddembe kubanga who seeks gundi ayagala I don't know how they say it but kanso bajja tuyamba ayagala obutuukirivu oba like obutuukirivu ojja n'engalo nga naawe olina okubanga oli mutuukirivu. Fe tuzze gye bali with clean hands. Ekirungi one of our sisters went ne batula meeting ne bateekayo n'ekiwandiiko ne babalaga nti ne batu representinga mu kiwandiiko but they are not our leaders, they are part of us. Ne babalaga nti fe tujja mu ddembe. We have been talking ndoza for a month paka we akaliro we bakawulidde bonna. So banaye baganda bange banyinaze ne baganda bange, let's be one and buli omu akole kyawulira nga asobola okukikola, asobola okwogera yogera, asobola okugula amazzi ng'ogenda gulira abantu amazzi gagule, asobola okukwata bendera gikwate kubanga world over teriyo omuntu atateeka kitiibwa mu fulaga ya nsi ye. Kwata fulaga yo bakukube tiyagasi ng'olina fulaga yo bwoti. The media is there. Ate balinze Alan Kasujja our lali naffe erale waffe gwe tulina atandise okutwitinga era kati bonna bagamba abaana baleeta ki kati ffe be balinze mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala.
Webale nnyo Isaac, webalire ddala. I want to appreciate kyogambye naye I want to encourage nti that day tuyambeko naffe police ejja tuyamba katukkirize oba ejja tukuba naye tuyambeko whenever they help us, right? Yeah guys, I'm seeing so many hands but you must understand we have so many new speakers on this platform and we need to hear from them, all right? Waliwo Muja abaddewo, certified abaddewo, Joe abaddewo, so please let's mpola patience, we shall hear it from each other. Mugisha, give us an update please.
Yeah.
Bwabeera ku update yaffe ku TikTok buli wamu tuweesewo.
Mwangu, I want to give you an update. Mu bwangu nnyo njagala bagamba that soon you will be seeing ku social media handles z'abaana naddala abaana abatwala ebbaluwa ku police nga bafulumiza nga kuliko posting eno esoma nti to all who have joined us on this journey against corruption, I want to express my deepest gratitude for your unwavering commitment. Unfortunately, due to personal and health issues, I will be unable to participate on the 23rd July peaceful protests based #March2Parliament. Naye nga wansi bakulaga nti document bagimusindikidde was a drafted document ne bamugamba agiposting, so asobola okucheckinga ku sister waffe Cynthia.
I've checked on her.
Yeah,
and she has pulled it down.
Yeah, nakunyonya n'ensonga I believe.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Mugi, for that update. But comrades, some of these people are being intimidated. I saw another colleague of ours called Kule Kennedy. He was being trailed and he said today he survived an abduction. I just retweeted that. So we stand in solidarity with those comrades of ours. Everything they tried to do was in good faith and we know how the system works. But we are not going to give up on them and we shall never give up on one of us. Guys, I want to bring in Muj, come in. Then after we shall have Joe, then certified. Martin, Muji Martin, unmuting and you speak. Okay, Muja drop-ins unfortunately. Let's go to Joe.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you having this space here where we can voice our opinion. What we're doing here is historical. What's going on in the continent, our Kenyan brothers over there, what they accomplished there, make no mistake, it's absolutely historical. There are virtually no countries in the world, or maybe there's some that you guys know of, but I don't know of any country in the world where it's actually the young people that are actually engaged and really trying to dictate the direction of the country. So this is amazing to be a part of. But I just want to highlight the power of slogans and the power of a communication strategy. And I just want to point to how the Kenyans, our Kenyan brothers and sisters over there, have made the slogan "Ruto must go" known worldwide. And I'm asking the question myself here, as other people on Twitter have also asked the question: why is Museveni must go not trending? Why is Museveni must go not trending? The Kenyans don't exactly have a replacement right now. They just know that Ruto is
Joe,
yes.
sorry to interject. Let me maybe respond to your question.
Sure, no problem, brother. No problem.
You must understand here, we emulate from our brothers in Kenya, and we are emboldened by their actions, but we are not chasing the same plan here. I understand that they are chasing Ruto must go, and for us, we are chasing corruption. And you might say, like, why don't you start with Museveni? It's because we are starting with corruption because it is our immediate effect. Museveni wouldn't be even in power if it wasn't for corruption. For your information, corruption has helped him in, I think, 80% right now. 80% of his activities are run by corruption and corrupt leaders. So there is a huge part. If we beat corruption, we are directly or indirectly hitting the dictator himself. But there is something here that I also want you to understand.
Yes.
In Uganda, we are a community that is divided on so many things, and we are trying to unite as Ugandans on a common fact, and that is corruption. There are people who support this regime. They believe in their leader, but they don't like the corruption. There are people who don't support this regime. They have other leaders. They also don't like corruption. And that is the reason why we are basing our efforts on corruption, and we are specifically saying our parliament has to be cleaned. So I was just saying that to make you understand that there are differences, even though we are almost in this more like the same struggles. Please go on.
Yes, sir. And thank you for that that response. But if I may respond back to you, it sounds from what you said that one of the reasons why this Museveni must go is not a major point is because there are people that support the president.
No.
So okay. If that is not the case, allow me to just. If that is not the case, if you're saying that you're not pushing for Museveni to leave office, you're not afraid of the fact that there's a lot of people in the country that support him, but you guys were just talking about how incompetent he is, about how out of touch he is with the current state of affairs in the world.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
Let me Kamaleyo sooner in a minute. We are saying that, but you must understand something here. How many Ugandans are we, and how many are we on this space? We are not fully equipped as Ugandans. We are a young generation. Let me finish, bro. We are a young generation, right? And what we are doing right now is, first of all, understand the power we possess as Ugandans.
Yes.
Something different in Kenya, because Kenyans, these protests have been happening so many times. They have had years of riots, but they have had peaceful protests so many times. It's part of their culture, kind of. In Uganda, that has never happened. And the first time it was something almost like that, there has been deaths, and people are engulfed in fear. So there is a reason that people have to be empowered to step up and stand for themselves. And you cannot go for the bull directly. You have to start, from these small things that make the bull great.
Yes, sir.
This is the intention.
I think in addition, just briefly, even when we talk about still Kenya, they didn't start with Ruto must go. They started with rejecting the bill, which they rejected. So they didn't start from the top. They started with a bill that they rejected, actually successfully rejected during the 3 days of the protests. So they didn't start with Ruto must go. They have just adopted it because Ruto killed their colleagues in those protests. So it's pulling them to force him out. I think now we can get the difference.
Yes. And honestly, guys, respectfully, I still disagree a bit, because when you compare President Ruto with President Museveni, I mean, Ruto is night and day a better leader. He's better able to engage international stakeholders on the global stage. You guys were just talking about how and I listen to Museveni's speeches all the time. I see his press releases on Instagram. Abazukulu, right? The guy is just talking about farming. He's completely out of touch with modern work. It's honestly, guys, it's embarrassing.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to tell you, but you found us here. You didn't find us listening to Museveni, first of all. Secondly, I want you to understand that by just giving you this time, you're redirecting our conversation and our time and our effort to discussing things that are actually not what we set out for. And thirdly, there is a reason why we are on this conversation, and we are saying March to Parliament, not really to.
Hello. Please, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Guys,
establish,
yes,
let's establish
guys, Young and Martin, you are both unmuted. Let's be orderly. Let's have this conversation, right? So, Joe, we are not really going to spend so much time, but I will allow some people to also
Yeah,
say a few things on what you
I didn't want to talk about that. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to. I'm
Then
not
why
trying
did
to
you talk
hijack.
about it, bro? Anyway, Onyango, go on and say something. And
I'm
then
sorry
Martin
to.
say
So
something.
can I just finish some points, please?
Okay, let him finish. Let him, but please,
Yeah, I
please
did.
just follow what we are.
Yeah, I
follow
did
the
not mean
conversation.
to. I did not mean to misdirect. Sorry if I took the conversation in a different direction. Please forgive me for that. Sorry about that.
It's okay. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So
please go ahead.
yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about communication strategy. The people that are wearing uniform, the police, the military, it's likely that they will be very hostile towards people in the streets. I'm just putting ideas out there that a communications